Have you ever wondered what truly defines a fulfilling life as we age? As we grow older, the challenges we face can seem overwhelming. Our health declines and the people we love may no longer be with us. But what if I told you that the secret to a rich and meaningful life in your later years doesn't rely on avoiding these challenges, but rather on how you choose to approach them? In this video, we'll explore the powerful principles that can drastically improve the quality of your life after 60, including how focusing on what truly matters can bring peace, how avoiding comparisons can save you from unnecessary stress, and the life-changing benefits of prioritizing your health early on. Stick around until the end, and you'll not only gain practical, actionable tips to enhance your life in your golden years, but also discover the mindset shift that will allow you to embrace the future with confidence, joy, and vitality. Whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, these insights will help you create a life that's truly worth living. Don't miss out on the wisdom and lessons shared here, because the best part of life may just be waiting for you in the next chapter. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. Creating a fulfilling life in old age. Hello, everyone. As we journey into our later years, especially after the age of 80, we may find that our health begins to falter more quickly than we ever anticipated. The simple strength that once flowed through our arms diminishes, making even the lightest tasks, like lifting a book or carrying a bag, feel like monumental efforts. It's a frustrating reality when we can't even remember where we left something as simple as the TV remote, a small reminder that our once sharp minds are not as sharp as they once were. But perhaps the most heart-wrenching part of aging is the inevitable loss of those we hold dear. The loss of a spouse, a child, or a close friend can feel like an unbearable blow to the heart. The absence of their presence in our lives leaves a gaping hole, and loneliness can quickly creep in, threatening to consume us. It's as if a heavy, cold darkness surrounds us, and the warmth of companionship fades into the background. At moments like these, we might feel as though we've been swept away by a tempest, helpless and adrift, with no one to cling to. It is in these difficult, raw moments that we truly see the importance of preparing ourselves, mentally, physically, and emotionally, so that when we are faced with the inevitable changes of aging, we are not caught off guard by them. After reaching the age of 80, it is unlikely that our bodies will bounce back the way they once did. No matter how much we care for ourselves, the body has its limits, and the recovery process becomes slower and harder with each passing year. The window for maintaining optimal health begins to close after the age of 60, or perhaps even in our 50s. This is why it is so crucial to begin nurturing our health well before we enter our later years. If we neglect our well-being in our 60s and 70s, we may very well find ourselves facing a life in our 80s that feels more like a prison than a peaceful, fulfilling existence. So, what can we do to create a life worth living after the age of 60? Today, I want to share the key factors that can significantly impact the quality of life in our golden years. Choices and practices that will allow us to age with grace, dignity, and joy, despite the inevitable challenges life throws our way. First factor: focusing on what truly matters. The first and most vital factor in ensuring a life of peace, satisfaction, and deep fulfillment as we age is to make the conscious choice to focus on what truly matters, leaving behind the trivial, the fleeting, and the superficial. Our journey through life is filled with distractions, demands, and obligations that often pull our attention away from what nourishes our soul. In our earlier years, we may be more susceptible to these distractions, chasing after material success, societal approval, or the need to prove ourselves to the world. But as we age, we realize that not everything in life carries the same weight. Many of the things we once thought were important, whether it's the latest fashion, social status, or unnecessary worries, are, in the grand scheme, completely inconsequential. As we reflect on our lives, it becomes apparent that the true measure of our well-being lies not in the quantity of our achievements, but in the quality of our relationships, our sense of inner peace, and the activities that make us feel most alive. The realization that we have only a limited amount of time, energy, and health in our later years forces us to make difficult choices about where to place our focus. By directing our attention only to the things that genuinely contribute to our happiness and sense of purpose, we can shape a life that is meaningful, joyful, and fulfilling. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. One powerful tool to help us discern what matters most is the Pareto principle, a timeless concept introduced by the Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto. According to this principle, 80% of the results we experience in our lives come from just 20% of our efforts. This simple yet profound idea invites us to reflect on how much of our time and energy is spent on things that offer little return or lasting satisfaction. When we really think about it, we come to realize that most of our daily activities, the endless to-do lists, the small annoyances, the obligations we take on out of habit, are not the things that truly shape our happiness. Instead, only a small portion of our efforts, our energy, and our focus have the power to create a profound and lasting impact. In our relationships, for example, we may have hundreds of acquaintances or social connections, yet only a handful of them offer the deep, meaningful bonds that truly enrich our lives. The same applies to our work. In any given job or career, a select few tasks will contribute the most to our professional fulfillment, while others may be routine and less impactful. When we bring this understanding into the context of aging, we gain a powerful insight. As we grow older, our physical and mental energy decline, and if we continue to pour our efforts into every insignificant task or concern, we run the risk of exhausting ourselves prematurely. What we need, then, is not more things or more commitments, but fewer, more intentional ones that serve our deepest needs and desires. To lead a life of peace and meaning in our later years, it's essential to focus on that vital 20% of things that truly matter and let go of the 80% that does not. The lesson from ant colonies. Interestingly, the Pareto principle is not just a human concept. It can be observed in the natural world as well, where animals like ants demonstrate this remarkable ratio in their daily lives. Take, for instance, the hard-working ants in a colony. Only about 20% of the worker ants are responsible for gathering 80% of the food supply. The remaining ants, while essential to the colony's functioning, play a more passive role, stepping in when the primary workers become tired or fall. This ratio remains consistent, no matter how much or how little work the individual ants contribute. It's a perfect illustration of how a small number of focused efforts can produce the most substantial results. The lesson we can take from this natural phenomenon is profound. Like the ants, we, too, must recognize that it's the core activities, those essential, nourishing aspects of life, that truly sustain us. Whether it's maintaining our health, nurturing our relationships, or pursuing our passions, the few things we prioritize should be the ones that matter the most. Much like the ants who focus their energy on vital tasks, we must direct our attention toward those activities that bring us joy, fulfillment, and a sense of purpose, rather than allowing ourselves to be overwhelmed by the countless other distractions that add little value to our lives. In our own lives, the 20% of things that bring us the most satisfaction, whether it's the way we care for our body, how we engage in meaningful relationships, or the time we dedicate to our hobbies, are the elements that truly define the quality of our lives. If we focus on nurturing these aspects, we can live in a way that is both intentional and deeply fulfilling, even as we face the natural decline that comes with age. The example of Mr. Yamada. Let me offer a more personal illustration of this principle through the story of my dear friend, Mr. Yamada. At 75 years old, Mr. Yamada had lived a full life, marked by years of hard work and dedication. He had worked as a sales manager for a prominent company, pouring his energy into climbing the corporate ladder and achieving success. After retiring at 65, he didn't slow down. He chose instead to continue working as a consultant, using his vast experience and network to stay active and maintain his income. He believed that staying busy was essential to maintaining his sense of purpose. But as the years passed, his health began to deteriorate. Stress from his work took a heavy toll on his body and mind. He developed chronic insomnia, and his blood pressure shot up. His wife, deeply concerned for his well-being, repeatedly urged him to take a step back, to reconsider the pace at which he was living. But, like many of us, Mr. Yamada found it difficult to slow down, trapped by the belief that success and fulfillment were tied to constant activity and achievement. Then, one day, he was struck by a profound wake-up call: the sudden death of a close colleague. This unexpected tragedy caused him to pause and reflect on his own life. It forced him to ask the hard question: what am I doing with the time I have left? What do I truly want to spend my energy on? In this moment of clarity, Mr. Yamada realized that, despite his busy schedule, he was not truly living in a way that brought him deep happiness. The activities that had once seemed essential, working hard, attending business golf outings, constantly checking stock prices, and keeping up with social media, were no longer fulfilling. They were draining his spirit, robbing him of the simple pleasures that truly mattered. Inspired by the Pareto principle, Mr. Yamada took a bold step. He reevaluated his life and made the conscious decision to focus on the 20% of activities that brought him the most joy and fulfillment. He realized that spending time with his grandchildren, tending to his beloved bonsai trees, enjoying leisurely evenings of mahjong with close friends, and going on spontaneous trips with his wife were the activities that truly nourished his soul. These were the moments that made him feel alive, the moments that defined what truly mattered. On the other hand, he recognized that many of the things he had prioritized, business lunches, stock market speculation, and endless social obligations, had little lasting effect on his well-being. They did not contribute to his happiness, nor did they add meaningful value to his life. With this newfound understanding, Mr. Yamada decided to drastically reduce his work commitments, cutting down his consulting work to just 1 day a week. He also let go of many other commitments that had once felt necessary, freeing up time to focus on what mattered most. The results were transformative. His health improved significantly. His blood pressure stabilized, and he no longer needed medication to sleep. His mind became clearer, his spirit lighter, and perhaps most importantly, he began to embrace life with a sense of joy and gratitude. He often said with a warm smile that he was now living his best life, one that was focused on love, connection, and the simple pleasures that bring true contentment. Mr. Yamada's story is a powerful testament to the profound impact that focusing on what truly matters can have on our lives, especially in our later years. When we let go of the clutter, the distractions, the stress, and the unimportant tasks, and redirect our energy toward the things that genuinely enrich us, we unlock a deeper sense of fulfillment, peace, and purpose. The bottom line. As we move forward in life, the lesson is clear. Our time and energy are precious, and the key to a fulfilling life, especially in old age, lies in focusing on the small, meaningful things that truly matter. By embracing the Pareto principle and prioritizing what brings us true joy, we can live with intention and clarity, letting go of the unnecessary and embracing the beauty of simplicity. When we focus on the 20% that makes the most difference, we open ourselves to a life that is not only longer but more enriched, more meaningful, and ultimately more fulfilling. Second factor, avoiding comparisons. Comparing yourself to others is a destructive habit that silently, yet relentlessly, chips away at your happiness. It's one of those subtle, insidious traps that seem harmless at first but gradually lead to a deep sense of dissatisfaction and disillusionment. This habit becomes particularly toxic when preparing for retirement, a stage of life that many of us approach with both hope and trepidation. As you reach your 50s, a time when your career may be winding down and you begin to think about the future, the temptation to compare yourself to others can feel overwhelming. But it's essential to understand that comparing your journey to someone else's will never bring you peace. It only brings discontent. The truth is, when you compare your life to others, you inevitably open the door to a dark world of self-criticism. It's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking, why hasn't my life turned out like theirs? For instance, look at my classmates. Many of them own grand homes worth millions of dollars, while here I am, struggling to make ends meet. What have I done with my life? Or perhaps you think, I thought working as a government employee would guarantee me a comfortable pension, but now I'm left with barely enough to get by. How will I survive this? These thoughts sting, and they sting hard. They strike at your very core, sowing seeds of doubt and self-recrimination. They create an internal narrative where you feel inadequate as if you've somehow failed to meet some invisible standard. But here's the dangerous truth. These comparisons, these feelings of inadequacy, are nothing more than illusions. They feed a false belief that others are somehow ahead of you, more successful, more secure. But the reality is that you never see the whole picture of anyone else's life. What you see is merely a snapshot, a carefully curated moment that doesn't reflect the true journey, struggles, or sacrifices they've faced. You may think your classmates' multi-million-dollar homes are a sign of success, but you don't see the financial strain they may be under or the sacrifices they've made to maintain their status. You don't see the toll that endless work and pressure have taken on their mental and emotional health. The same goes for those who seem to have a fat pension. You may feel envious of their financial stability, but you don't know what compromises they had to make, what sleepless nights they've endured, or the weight of responsibility they carry on their shoulders. When you allow these comparisons to take root in your mind, you open yourself up to a toxic cycle. It's easy to criticize your own life when you're looking through someone else's lens. This self-criticism creates a pit of despair where you question everything about yourself and your choices. Worse still, these feelings can lead to anger, not just toward yourself but toward the very system or circumstances that have shaped your life. You might find yourself resenting the government, the pension system, your career choices, or even your family for not supporting you in the way you expected. And if you're not careful, this resentment can turn into destructive actions. Some people, desperate to recover what they believe they've lost, may resort to risky investments, start new businesses on a whim, or even borrow money to chase a mirage of success. But this is exactly where things can go wrong. Your 50s are not the time to begin everything from scratch. This stage of life is the harvest season. It's not the time to plant new seeds or cultivate new ventures, but rather to reap the fruits of what you've already sown through years of hard work, dedication, and wisdom. It's true, of course, that you can still embrace new opportunities and challenge yourself in meaningful ways. Life after 50 is not about closing the door to change. It's about being more discerning with the risks you take. It's about understanding that with age comes a deeper appreciation of what matters. You must approach any new venture with a clear understanding that failure at this stage carries a higher cost, physically, emotionally, and financially, than it did when you were younger. The energy and time you once had to bounce back from setbacks are no longer as abundant, and the weight of failure may feel much heavier. As Sun Tzu, the legendary Chinese philosopher, once said, "A wise person does not look up to others, but only considers whether they have surpassed their past self." This is the key to living in peace. Stopping the endless comparisons and focusing instead on surpassing your past, on growing and evolving based on your values, not anyone else's standards. The case of Mr. Tanaka. Let me illustrate this with the story of Mr. Tanaka, a man who, like many, fell into the trap of comparing his life to others. Mr. Tanaka, at the age of 68, had spent his entire career working as a finance manager at a small company. After retiring at 60, he expected to enjoy the fruits of his labor: rest, relaxation, and the comfort of knowing he had planned wisely for his retirement. But as he lived through his retirement, he was shocked to discover that the pension he had been promised was far less than he had anticipated. It wasn't the financial cushion he had imagined, and this reality sent him spiraling into feelings of regret and frustration. Things took a turn for the worse when Mr. Tanaka learned that his neighbor, Mr. Kimura, who lived in the same building, had managed to continue earning a substantial income even after retirement. Mr. Kimura had become a company advisor and was still receiving a large salary, which made Mr. Tanaka feel even more envious and insecure. "How could I let this happen to me?" he thought. "Why is he doing so much better than me? What am I doing wrong?" In that moment, he gave in to the overwhelming pressure to keep up with the Joneses. Fearful of an uncertain financial future and desperate to find a solution, he decided to invest most of his retirement savings into real estate, hoping it would provide him with the steady income he needed. However, fate had other plans. The property market was not kind to him. Real estate prices dropped unexpectedly, and the rental income was far lower than anticipated. Instead of the steady income stream he had envisioned, Mr. Tanaka found himself facing overwhelming loan payments, which he could not meet. As the pressure mounted, his anxiety took over, leading to sleepless nights and rising blood pressure. The stress consumed him, and in the end, he was forced to sell the property at a loss. This marked the beginning of a new chapter in Mr. Tanaka's life, one full of regret and disillusionment. But as time passed, Mr. Tanaka came to realize the folly of his ways. He understood that he had been chasing someone else's dream, living someone else's life, instead of focusing on his journey. In hindsight, he saw the truth. Comparing himself to Mr. Kimura or anyone else had not only led him to make poor decisions but had also stolen his peace of mind. He had ignored his unique path and the wisdom he had gained over the years. In his post-retirement life, Mr. Tanaka made a conscious decision to change his perspective. He began to focus on the things that truly brought him joy and fulfillment. He now attends a morning exercise class, taking care of his physical health in a way that he had neglected before. He enjoys long walks with his wife, savoring the quiet moments and the love they share. He looks forward to his monthly mahjong sessions with friends, appreciating the simple pleasure of companionship and the joy of spending time with those who matter most. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Though his financial situation may not be what he once hoped for, Mr. Tanaka has learned an invaluable lesson. True wealth does not come from material possessions or constant comparison to others. Rather, it comes from being healthy, present, and grateful for the small joys of life. He has discovered that, even with less money, a peaceful heart, and a life full of love and connection are the greatest luxuries one can have. Now, Mr. Tanaka lives with a deep sense of gratitude, no longer weighed down by envy or regret. His life has become a beautiful testament to the power of self-acceptance, of learning to live fully in your skin without constantly measuring yourself against someone else. Practical advice on how to live without comparing. The most profound way to enrich your life is by embracing the beauty of your unique journey. Life isn't a race or a competition. There is no need to measure your progress against anyone else's. Each person has their own rhythm, pace, and purpose, and it is crucial to honor your path, free from the shadows of comparison. Instead of feeling pressured to live according to someone else's timeline or expectations, allow yourself the grace to walk at your speed, celebrate your individuality, and appreciate the life you've cultivated. Trust that the experiences, struggles, and triumphs that shape your existence are exactly what you need to grow and evolve. Find immeasurable joy in the small, seemingly insignificant moments of everyday life. These quiet, tender moments are the foundation of true happiness. Moments that are often overlooked when we get lost in the lives of others. The soft glow of early morning light as it filters through your window, the sound of birds singing in the trees, the laughter shared over a family meal, or the stillness of reading a cherished book. These are the moments that hold the most meaning. Allow yourself to deeply experience the beauty of these everyday gifts, and let them nourish your soul. Don't let the noisy distractions of comparison drown out the joy that lies in the simple, quiet corners of life. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small they may seem. Each step forward, every achievement you accomplish, whether it's finishing a book, learning something new, or overcoming an obstacle, is a reflection of your inner strength and perseverance. Never belittle your efforts, as they are a testament to your growth. Acknowledge your progress with pride, recognizing that each accomplishment, no matter how insignificant it may seem in comparison to others, is deeply meaningful. You are on your journey, and it deserves to be celebrated. Your hard work, dedication, and resilience are all deserving of recognition, and the more you honor your efforts, the more you will unlock the true potential within yourself. In the digital age, it's incredibly easy to get swept up in comparing ourselves to the curated images and stories that flood social media. But the reality is that these portrayals often reflect an idealized version of life that doesn't tell the full story. Constantly comparing your life to someone else's highlights can chip away at your self-esteem and fill you with feelings of inadequacy. Rather than falling into this trap, make a conscious choice to limit your exposure to such comparisons. Redirect your attention back to the present, to your own unique experiences. Be mindful of how much time you spend scrolling through the highlight reels of others, and instead invest your energy in savoring the fullness of your own life. Your self-worth should never be defined by the filtered images you see online. Your worth comes from within, from how deeply you connect with your own values and aspirations. The importance of health management. The significance of health management cannot be overstated, as it has a profound impact on the quality of your life, especially as you age. My mother, who is 82, serves as a powerful example of the transformative effects of consistent, intentional health management. For nearly 2 decades, she has made Tai Chi a sacred part of her daily routine. It began in her early 60s when she took it upon herself to practice in a quiet local park. What started as a solitary activity soon became a communal experience, as others were drawn to her dedication. Over time, a group of about 10 people began practicing alongside her, and they all formed a sense of community through their shared commitment to health and wellness. Rain or shine, she's there every morning, dedicating at least 30 minutes to her practice. Her philosophy is simple, yet profound. While you can move, that's the time to be active. This mindset has become a cornerstone of her life, and as a result, she's able to navigate the challenges of aging with grace and vitality. Even at 82, she climbs stairs with ease, travels multiple times a year, and continues to enjoy life with the same enthusiasm and energy she had decades ago. Her commitment to her physical health has allowed her to retain her strength, flexibility, and independence. It's a beautiful reminder that it is never too late to begin taking care of your body, and that small, consistent efforts can yield powerful, life-changing results. In contrast, my father's experience highlights the consequences of neglecting one's health. After retiring at 65, he gradually fell into a sedentary lifestyle, watching TV late into the night and ignoring the importance of physical activity. This lifestyle led to rapid deterioration in his health. By the time he reached 70, he was battling serious illnesses, and he passed away at 74. My mother often reflects on how things might have been different if he had taken better care of himself. If only he had made his health a priority, she says. He could have been here to see our grandchildren grow up. This story serves as a stark reminder that neglecting your health can not only rob you of your vitality but also affect the people you love and care about. Specific health management tips. Regular exercise. Make exercise a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Whether it's a 30-minute walk, stretching exercises, or low-impact activities like swimming or yoga, movement is crucial to maintaining both physical and mental well-being. Even gentle exercise can significantly improve your flexibility, reduce stress, boost your energy levels, and promote overall health. Commit to making your body a priority by incorporating consistent, low-intensity activity into your daily life. Your body will thank you for it in ways you can't imagine. A balanced diet. Food is medicine, and what you choose to nourish your body with can either lift you or drag you down. Make vegetables the cornerstone of your diet, and aim for a balanced approach that includes moderate amounts of protein, healthy fats, and whole grains. Limit your intake of processed foods, sugars, and excessive salt, as these can lead to long-term health issues. Hydration is also crucial, so ensure you drink plenty of water throughout the day. A balanced diet will not only keep your body in optimal condition but will also boost your mood, sharpen your mind, and increase your longevity. Adequate sleep. Sleep is one of the most vital components of a healthy life, yet it is often undervalued. Sleep allows your body and mind to rejuvenate, repair, and recharge. Maintain a consistent sleep schedule, ensure your sleep environment is peaceful and comfortable, and allow yourself time to wind down before bed. Create a bedtime ritual that helps your body know it's time to rest, whether it's reading, meditating, or enjoying a warm cup of tea. A rested body is a more vibrant body, and quality sleep is key to sustaining your energy, focus, and overall health. Regular health checkups. Don't wait until something goes wrong to prioritize your health. Schedule regular checkups with your healthcare provider, at least once a year, to ensure everything is functioning as it should. Regular checkups can help catch potential issues early when they are more treatable. If any abnormalities are detected, address them promptly and follow through with recommended treatments. Being proactive about your health is one of the most powerful things you can do to ensure a long, happy life. The path to a fulfilling old age. The wisdom we gain from life's experiences is invaluable. Several key lessons emerge when we reflect on the lives of those who have invested in their health and well-being. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Applying the Pareto principle. By focusing on the 20% of efforts that yield 80% of results, we can dramatically improve our quality of life. Simple, intentional actions such as regular exercise, healthy eating, and a focus on mental well-being can transform the trajectory of your life. You don't need to overhaul everything. Just focus on what matters. Avoid the trap of comparison. Comparing yourself to others can create unnecessary pressure and often leads to poor decisions. Everyone's path is different, and constantly measuring your life against someone else's only serves to rob you of joy. Instead, find contentment in your journey and celebrate the milestones you reach along the way. Start early with health management. The earlier you begin prioritizing your health, the better. It's never too soon to start taking care of your body, and the benefits of early intervention are immeasurable. Don't wait until you're facing health issues. Start now, and enjoy the fruits of your labor in the years to come. By adopting a mindset that values your unique path, prioritizing your health, and embracing the simple joys of life, you can ensure that your later years are filled with vitality, peace, and fulfillment. Life doesn't have to be about comparison. It's about connection with yourself, others, and the world around you. Invest in yourself today, and build a foundation for a future that is rich with health, happiness, and meaningful relationships. As we come to the end of this video, I hope you're feeling inspired to embrace your unique journey, prioritize your health, and find joy in the simple, everyday moments of life. We've talked about the importance of walking your path, focusing on personal growth, and investing in your well-being, not just physically but emotionally and mentally too. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What have you learned so far? What's one thing you will bring into practice in your life moving forward? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insightful content. Your support means a lot, and I can't wait to share more valuable wisdom with you in the next video. Take care, and remember, your journey is unique. Own it with pride.